Daniel Jones, the Giants quarterback, had a rough game during NFL Week 4. On Monday Night Football against Seattle, he was sacked 10 times, which is horrifying. He had 3 turnovers. They lost 24-3. Their turnovers really cost him, and one was a pick 6, one was a fumble that gave Seattle the ball first and goal on the 8-yard line. I want to break it all down. On the very first drive of the game, there were warning signs. The Giants ran a bootleg where the quarterback fakes the run, then reverse pivots and tries to get out on the perimeter. And while doing his run fake, his back is to the line of scrimmage. Right as Daniel Jones reverse pivots, there's a defender, Jamal Adams, all over him. This happens because Giants receiver Wan'Dale Robinson does a terrible job. It's poor execution. He is supposed to put a chip block on Jamal Adams where you block him for a second and a half, let him go, let him get after the quarterback. But what you want to do is hold Jamal Adams in place so that he can't just get a free rush on Daniel Jones. Instead, that's exactly what happened. Jamal Adams comes free at the quarterback. The Giants are lucky here because Daniel Jones actually avoids a sack, makes him miss, and kind of makes his play work and throws for a couple of yards, but it was an early warning sign. A poor chip block would hurt the Giants later, though. When Daniel Jones got sacked and fumbled, a fumble that gave Seattle, by the way, the ball first and goal inside the 8-yard line, that sack fumble happened because of Wan'Dale Robinson once again playing patty cake, making a horrible attempt at a chip block. It ruins the entire play. Defender blows up the play. The poor chip block means Daniel Jones can't get outside. Then he gets hit from behind and fumbles. It's poor execution on a chip block that leads to a Seattle touchdown after the fumble from Daniel Jones. But the fumble only happened because Daniel Jones wasn't able to get on the perimeter, got hit from behind, all because of Wan'Dale Robinson in motion, playing patty cake, making a horrible block on the edge defender. It's poor execution. In this game against Seattle, Daniel Jones got sacked 10 times, and 5 of those sacks were Daniel Jones' fault. But that also means that 5 of the sacks were not on Daniel Jones. I already showed you one of them. The sack fumble was not Daniel Jones' fault. I want to break down. Let's keep it going. There are 4 more sacks I want to talk about that were not Daniel Jones' fault. There's a disastrous one. On 3rd and 7, there's nowhere to go with the ball. It's a 5-man rush. You got 6 guys blocking, 5 offensive linemen plus a running back. Also, you got the help of a chip block from a receiver on the left edge. And once again, it's 3rd and 7. There is nowhere to throw. The right tackle gets badly beaten. This sack is absolutely not Daniel Jones' fault. The next one, I don't care what protection you're running. There is no protection where you leave Seattle defensive end Draymond Jones unblocked up the middle in the A-gap. Depending on who you ask, you call it a stunt or a twist where the defenders swap spots and the center can't adjust. He badly misses a block. This is not Daniel Jones' fault. By the way, it's only a 4-man rush. 4 guys getting after the quarterback. You have 5 offensive linemen. This should never happen. It's a badly missed block by the center that leads to a sack on Daniel Jones. On the next one, the left tackle is just embarrassing. He gets beat really bad. When a defender runs right by your left tackle, you have no shot. Daniel Jones is getting sacked as he's finishing his 3-step drop. It's just ridiculous. Your quarterback has no opportunity to succeed when your left tackle gets beaten that badly. The last sack I want to talk about that is not Daniel Jones' fault. The Giants run a double move. It's a hitch and go on both sides, and the quarterback doesn't have enough time to hold on to the ball long enough for it to develop. There's nowhere to throw. The left tackle gets badly beaten again. So 5 of the sacks we saw against Seattle were not Daniel Jones' fault. Now, 5 of them were his fault. Number 1, Daniel Jones runs out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage and loses a yard. Technically, that's a sack. It's frustrating because it's so avoidable, right? You throw the ball away. There's no reason to take a loss, and that sack did not need to happen. Number 2 is a tougher one. Seattle runs a late blitz with corner Devin Witherspoon, and Daniel Jones doesn't even see it. This is why, by the way, playing quarterback is incredibly tough in the NFL. There are so many things you have to be thinking about. After the snap, you have to be aware of a blitzer coming off the edge, coming late. And you have to have a plan to deal with it. You got to be ready to go like, hey, if they blitz, I'm going here with a football. But you got to decide that before the ball is even snapped. And there is so much to deal with as a quarterback. Where are my safeties? What coverage is it? Are they blitzing? Then post-snap, you snap the ball. You confirm the coverage. Did they blitz? All this has to happen in like 2 seconds. Playing quarterback in the NFL is incredibly difficult. And even though it's tough, this one's still on Daniel Jones. He misses a blitz, doesn't even see it, takes a sack here. You got to recognize the blitz and have a plan to deal with it. Daniel Jones does not hear. This sack is on him. The third sack is so frustrating. It's quick game, meaning that you pick a matchup you like, then you catch the ball and you throw it immediately. You shouldn't be holding on to the ball too long in quick game because the offensive line is expecting your quarterback to get the ball out quickly. On his left, he's got 2 receivers with 3 defenders over them. They're running a fade-out concept. I think Daniel Jones must believe that the defender off the edge is going to come and bring pressure because he looks like he thinks he's going to have an easy completion to the left. That doesn't happen. He's wrong. He holds onto the ball too long, which again, you should never do, and gets sacked. This play is painful because it's a simple concept. And if he'd just gone to the right side, he would have had a completion, plain and simple. Sack number 4, that was Daniel Jones' fault. I don't know what he's looking at. As soon as his back foot hits the turf at the end of his drop, the ball should be out. He's got a receiver staring at him open, and you can only wonder, like, what are we doing as a quarterback? Like, what's happening here? Because, yes, the right guard gets badly beaten. Daniel Jones tries to running it back to the line of scrimmage, but it shouldn't matter because for some reason he passed up an open receiver. I just don't understand here. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why this isn't an easy completion, and instead he makes it way harder and takes a sack. The last one is on 4th and 5. Daniel Jones has a receiver open for a first down, middle of the field on the Giants logo, and for some reason doesn't pull the trigger. He hangs onto the ball too long, takes a sack. I have no idea what he's looking at, and at this point it feels hopeless to try to figure out and fix Daniel Jones. When you watch the film, man, the sacks are adding up. And, the Cowboys game, the 49ers game, it's very clear Daniel Jones does not trust his offensive line anymore. There are plays where he's bailing out of the pocket way too early. There's a play where, there's a messy pocket, but it's the NFL. That's how it happens. That's how it works. In the NFL, you're going to deal with players all around you in the pocket. Daniel Jones bails out too early, and a curl route comes open, but because he left the pocket, he's got no chance to see it. And it's an early warning sign. You're like, oh, this quarterback is really skittish in the pocket. Now, there's a fun sequence I want to talk about. On 2nd and 6, the Giants can't run the ball. They lose a ton of yards. That sets up 3rd and 11. And on 3rd and 11, he leaves the pocket too early. Now, he's got a deep dig developing over in the middle of the field, right on the Giants logo. Daniel Jones leaves the pocket, so the defense does get influence and starts flowing with Daniel Jones towards the sideline. But I think Darius Slayton might have come open on this deep dig. We will never know because Daniel Jones left the pocket early, did not let it develop, didn't trust his offensive line, and he takes off and leaves a clean pocket, which is the biggest issue here. Daniel Jones, even when you do his stuff right, he can't execute because he can't hang out in the pocket. He doesn't trust what's going on in front of him. It's a really, really big problem. By the way, Seattle sacked Daniel Jones 10 times, but they had 11 sacks on the day, which means that this play I'm about to talk about is a sack. The Giants try to throw a double pass to receiver Paris Campbell, where Paris Campbell would catch the lateral, then try to throw downfield. He gets sacked in the backfield, meaning the Giants are so bad that even their receivers are getting sacked. Yikes. Now, we got to talk about the pick 6. Daniel Jones threw a god-awful interception on the goal line that got returned by Devin Witherspoon for a 97-yard pick 6. So Daniel Jones handed Seattle a touchdown, and it is a baffling, terrible decision. There is nothing about this play that should give a quarterback the green light to make this throw. I think Brian Dable, the play caller, was trying to get the ball to Darren Waller on a corner route behind all this mess at the line of scrimmage, but this throw just doesn't make any sense to me. This ball should never, ever get thrown to Paris Campbell, and it's a bad decision that leads to a long pick 6 for Devin Witherspoon. Now, interception number 2 is bad. Daniel Jones makes a throw late over the middle. He gets hit as he throws. It's wildly off target. This play is all bad. It's just not good. It's at this point of the game, I'm watching film. I'm like, man, it's time to panic because Daniel Jones looks unfixable. All of his best plays are coming outside of the structure of the offense. He's extending plays. He's running for a ton of yards. Daniel Jones has a 4-year, $160 million contract. He's under contract through 2026. $82 million guaranteed. He's in year 5, and he's making mistakes that a rookie quarterback might make. 4 games into the year, he's got 2 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, 3 total touchdowns, 7 total turnovers. To me, Daniel Jones looks unfixable. It's a problem. It's not good. And I am really, really worried for Giants fans and the Giants quarterback, Daniel Jones.